everybody, Ryan.moseley with NP Dodge here in Omaha.
I'm Alex Drake with Lincoln Federal Savings Bank.
And we're going to bring you an update on the market statistics for the Omaha area for February, which were just released a few days ago. And talk a little bit about an article that just came out yesterday talking about Omaha being the #1 hottest U.S. housing market right now. So,
where do you want to start?
Let's start with the statistics. How about that?
All right, yeah.
So, for this February, pending listings were down a little bit, down 12%. Home inventory, pretty much the same. Existing homes, about a month worth of inventory. New construction, about 6 months worth of inventory. So what I've been seeing with some of the clients I've been working with is that those existing homes are still hard to find. And the new construction, you have a little more selection. You don't have to be as stressed about, overbidding or anything like that.
Yeah, and I think, too, that the important thing is, and feel free to chime in here, Ryan, but on the existing homes, if you're looking to sell an existing home, I think the key right now is pricing correct.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And when I'm working with clients selling their home, we want to make sure we're competitive in price, but, not overpriced. Because if you get overpriced, it sits there, and then, people wonder why a house has been there for a month or two.
Can't tell you how many times I've seen somebody overprice their house, and by the time the seller is willing to bring it down to where it should be priced, at that point it's too late. Now they have to go under where it should be priced.
They've lost all the attention. They've lost the movement,
the momentum.
Lots of them, and then you're kind of in a bad position. So what I like to do is, be competitive to what else is available in that neighborhood, and if it's priced right, then hopefully maybe get a couple people overbidding.
Yeah, you try and create the bidding.
Yep. Median sale price was $289, which is a little bit up 5% over last year, which kind of goes along with the normal increase in the housing markets across the country. So,
I think the interesting thing too, when we look at the narrative coming from the media about the housing market on the verge of collapse, which we've heard for years. The closed units being up 1.7% year over year, and year to date up 3.9% is actually contrary to what we've been hearing.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to talk about that with this article too, because overall, Omaha is a little insulated from some of those problems that happen in the markets. Not even just real estate market, but all the markets.
Correct.
Which leads to the article. You want to talk about the article here?
Yeah. So, for those of you who haven't seen it, the article is titled "Hottest U.S. Housing Markets." It's from U.S. News, and we'll link it in the video. But essentially, Omaha for a mid-level city has the hottest market in the country, with an MSA score of 72.6?
Yep, 72.6, and I'll put some of these graphics up as well. 76.2 actually.
Yeah.
And by quite a lead above the second-ranked town of Austin, Round Rock, Texas. Never been there, but they were second at 72.3.
So, Ryan, can you explain what that score of 76.2 means?
Right. So basically, the MSA scores the metropolitan statistical area, and that includes not only the strength of the housing market in that area, but unemployment, inflation in that area. All of these factors that play a role in why you go to a particular town, cost of living. They compare our market to East and West Coast larger cities, and far and away our housing market is more affordable. Cost of living is much more affordable compared to some of those other areas. And incidentally, another article that just came out a couple weeks ago, Omaha metro area hit 1 million population for the first time. So definitely a growing city and a housing market that's just kind of on fire along with it.
This might be a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. With everything going on in the job market and a lot of employees being asked to return to the office, do you see any sort of an exodus from the Omaha area leading to more existing homes being on the market?
I would say no. I mean, I think people in corporations, that are trying to attract people to Omaha would say the same thing, that we have a lot to offer here besides just working from home, or even if you have to go to work. Driving to work across Omaha take 20 minutes versus some bigger cities that take an hour or two. So I think Omaha still has a lot to offer, even for those that aren't going to work remotely anymore, getting back in the office We have plenty of office space available in Omaha, for corporations that want to build. We have tons of opportunity for people.
I think you brought it up. I think that's interesting. Here in Omaha, we have corporations still trying to attract people, which is why we don't have some of the other problems that some of the bigger cities have. So if you are working remote from a different company and they're trying to make you go back to the office, but you don't want to leave Omaha, you have an abundance of opportunity here still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not stuck in a job. You can definitely, there's plenty of corporate opportunities for whatever position you're in, which again is one of those statistical factors that play a role in Omaha being such a great place to live right now. Is unemployment rate and jobs that are
for sure. So Ryan, we're entering the spring market. Things are heating up. What are your top 3 tips for home buyers right now?
Get all your ducks in a row. Whether you're buying or selling, if you're buying, obviously get that financing figured out first, because otherwise you're looking at houses that you don't even have a pre-approval letter. You can't really do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can put an offer in, but we don't have anything to back it up. So making sure everything's set up ahead of time so there's no surprises. Helping those that are selling the house. Let's go ahead and get some of the cosmetic stuff taken care of. If there's bigger issues, the big thing with roofs right now is impeding a lot of deals midstream, setting the timelines back, because an inspection will look at the roof and then there's damage, and now we got to go back and get that figured out while we're sitting here pending. And we want to have all that taken care of first, so when we do list it, it's ready to go. There's no obstacles.
So do you recommend as a seller doing a pre-inspection?
You can do a pre-inspection, but what I've done is, I have a couple roofers that I work with as well, and I'll pull a storm report. Everything got hit in Omaha last year, so without exception, there's probably
storms enough to get a brand new roof out of when I bought. So
exactly. So even just having a roofer that you trust can go up and look at the roof and say, yeah, here's some damage. Let's go ahead and file a claim, get that taken care of, because that can, again, set things back, and you have to work with the insurance companies on the claim midstream in a pending deal. So
I think the other thing too is we're talking about things like roof, siding, those types of things that are insurance claims. They can delay it on the mortgage side potentially too, because if there's really no reason why that work shouldn't be done prior to closing, a lot of lenders can force you to do it before closing, which could in theory delay closing. So you want to have, if you have a claim that you're filing, you want to get it out in front of that to either have the work started or scheduled, because you can do what's called an escrow holdback if it's scheduled. There are time frames on that. Now, I've seen it where we've extended escrow holdbacks because more storms, the tornadoes last year created a ton of issues, and there's still ways to work around it. But I think the important thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're saying is you can't start any of this stuff too early, because where I sit, we like to build in the contingency plans for this stuff if it were to arise.
And the escrow holdback is a good thing to bring up too. I had a home over this past winter that needed a roof, but we had snow sitting on top and ice sitting on top, so couldn't get anything done before closing. And having the option, escrow holdback on it to get it, still have closing happen, but have money set aside.
And so if you are the seller in that instance and you are doing an escrow holdback on a new roof, I think it's important that you know what you're getting yourself into as a seller there. You're not going to get all your proceeds up front. You like conventional loan, you're looking at 1.5 times the cost. So if it's a $5,000 roof, they're gonna hold 1.5 times of those proceeds. So,
and $5,000 for a roof right now would be pretty cheap.
Yes. Yeah.
From what I've seen, it's going like 10, 15, 20,000, depending on the size of the roof.
For sure.
And that's holding back a significant amount, of course, in proceeds. But it's going to come back to you at some point.
Yes. But my point is, if you get that done prior to closing, you get all those proceeds and you can go roll that into your move-up purchase. Yep. So don't wait to get this stuff done if you can help it.
Yeah. Even if you're still 5 or 6 months out from selling it, we'll get the ball rolling. Get everything lined up so that'll be a clean close at that point.
Maybe wait on the roof until after storm season. Yeah, I mean, if you're waiting until the fall to sell, maybe wait on the roof until after storm season.
True.
Anything else that you got, Ryan?
No, I think that sums it up quite nicely. when we come back to you guys in April, we're going to be out of Spare Time.
Yep.
Which is a new entertainment center out on West Center Road. So we're kind of excited to be out there. And
Try some food.
I was going to say, try some food. Maybe put a game of bowling on, friendly wager, something like that.
I don't know if I can afford that one.
All right. So we'll go ahead and I'll put the link to the article in the comments below, and we'll come back to you in a month.